welcome to the Rugby Club, first of all. Welcome to our employee benefits seminar. We've got a great array of guest speakers today that are hopefully going to talk to you about lots and lots of different employee benefits. And I think the reason why we've put this on today at this moment in time is two things really. One, in the current labour market, it's very difficult to recruit and retain top quality employees, and hopefully some of this stuff that you hear today will help you decide whether or not you put that into your businesses. And secondly, what's coming down the track with the employer NI hike and how you can make savings. Rob's going to talk a little bit about that in a minute in terms of the pensions, and I think some of you around here, familiar faces, are probably already engaged on that Penfold piece. So those are the two things, main reasons and drivers why we're here today. We've had fire alarms already, so that we're not going to get any more. So if it does go off, you're straight out to the goalposts or the car park, whichever you get there quickly enough. A little bit about Moneyweb. Most of you here probably know all about us, but I'm just going to sort of talk a little bit about who we are, what we've been doing, and where we are at the moment. So we're an independent financial advice company. For those of you who don't know, my name's Paul Robinson. I'm the owner of the business. We've been running for 25 years. We had our 25th anniversary last year. Some of you came to that. We had a big celebration and made a lot of money for charity. In effect, what we do for clients is we manage individual client money. And this area, which we're going to speak about today, is an area that we're developing into in terms of working with companies, working with employers, and helping them and trying to train them how to make savings within their business in benefits that we can put into their arrangements. So at the moment, we've probably got about 1,000 clients that we deal with on a regular basis. And in terms of employers, we probably work with about 60 different employers. So we're growing. I wouldn't class us as a small business anymore. I would say we're a medium firm business. We've got a great team of people. Most of them over there wearing these gilets you can speak to later on. But for me, I don't want to keep boring you on about Moneyweb. So I'm going to introduce you to Rob, who's hopefully going to talk to you a little bit about pensions and the auto-enrolment arrangements. Rob, just before you start, just on pensions, I think out of everything that you hear today, pensions is the only compulsory arrangement that employers have got to put in place. So for me, it's really important that you've got the best pension scheme that you can possibly have. Part of our job when we come in to talk to you is to have a look and see what you've got, analyse it, and if it's right, recommend change. We have a commercial agreement with Penfold. If you went direct to Penfold, you would pay more. If you came through us, you would pay less as a member, not an employer, so as an individual. So we feel that we've got a really good relationship with Penfold. I won't steal Rob's thunder. He's going to talk to you about the stuff that they're doing at the moment. So over to you, Rob.
Thank you very much. So good morning, everyone. So as Paul said, so I'm Rob. I'm from Penfold. We're a modern workplace pension provider. I'm here today to talk to you about workplace pensions and why it pays to review your workplace pension. Now, for anyone wondering why I'm there, stood with a giant novelty check. So this was a couple of weeks ago. This is one of our clients. So we presented this to them as part of our salary sacrifice campaign. So this company here, Duro, saved over £34,000 by implementing salary sacrifice through the pension scheme. So that's something that I'm going to talk to you a little bit about in today's talk. Brief background on myself. So I spent the past 10 years working within SME finance. So worked with hundreds of SMEs, helping them to raise growth funding. And about 6 months ago, I joined Penfold and the world of pensions. So here obviously to talk to you today about that. It'd be great, I guess, just to get a feel for the room. Maybe we can just quick show of hands, any business owners or directors here today? Okay. Anyone from HR? Okay. And finance? Okay, great. Hopefully everyone's put their hands up and there's no one here by mistake. So I always want to start these kind of presentations with a stat, and this is that only 15% of Brits are currently on track for a comfortable retirement. Now, why is this the case? Now, we believe this is really because a lack of education and also a lack of engagement from old school and sort of outdated pension providers. Most employees are unaware of who their pension provider is. They probably only engage every year when they get their annual statement, and they really are unaware of how much they need to save to have that comfortable retirement. And it's usually only when they get, to their 40s or 50s where they start to realise this, and at that point it then makes it much more difficult to save enough to make sure you have that comfortable retirement. So I guess there's one sort of takeaway that I hope you'll take from this presentation. That is, you as employers really have an opportunity to be able to educate your employees and to make a difference to their future, and make sure that they are part of the 15% or hopefully more that is actually saving enough for their later life. So why review workplace pension schemes? Quick show of hands, has anyone ever reviewed their workplace pension scheme or actually changed their workplace pension scheme? Okay, quite a few, that's good. Paul did say that there's some people from Penfold here, so hopefully you guys are the ones. But what we tend to find is that most employers will set up with a sort of default workplace pension scheme. It's maybe not fit for purpose, it maybe doesn't have a sort of modern app, or there's no engagement there, and they really just see this as a tick box exercise and not an opportunity to actually provide a great employee benefit, which is hopefully something that you'll take away from this presentation. So firstly, attracting and retaining talent. Now, pensions are often highlighted as one of the most valuable employee benefits. And lots of employees will actually expect more than the statutory requirement that businesses have to offer. Now, having a great pension obviously allows you to attract great talent, but also allows you to retain talent as well. Just this week, I onboarded a new client, and they've actually put in place a tiered sort of structure that incentivizes employees who have been there for the longest. So this is sort of a great way to sort of give back to your employees, to encourage them to stay with your company, and in exchange they will be rewarded with an increased contribution. So secondly, reducing admin. So anyone that has managed a pension contribution before will know that this can be a bit of a headache. And if not, all you have to do is speak to your accountant. Most of the pension providers are sort of very old school platforms, and it can be very time consuming for you to manage that on a monthly basis. So reviewing your pension scheme and choosing a modern alternative can really help you save a lot of time. A lot of modern pension providers, including ourselves, have integrations with the payroll software. So it's just a case of connecting it up, and that's all you need to do. Everything goes through your payroll software, so there's no sort of headache at the end of the month. And finally, saving money. So surprisingly, workplace pensions can actually help you save money, and here's why. So hopefully everyone is aware that very soon, April the 6th, employer national insurance will be increasing from 13.8% to 15%. Now what this means for an average salary of 33k, an increase of £900. So huge sort of jump there, an additional cost for lots of employers. Now fortunately, salary sacrifice can help to reduce this. So maybe just a quick show of hands, how many people here have salary sacrifice currently implemented in their business? Wow, okay, that's very good. Much more than average. So on average, about 40% of SMEs offer salary sacrifice. So really great to see that lots of you are implementing it. For those who aren't familiar with salary sacrifice, so salary sacrifice is a government-backed scheme that allows employers and employees to save on tax. And essentially the employee will agree to sacrifice or to exchange part of their salary for a non-cash benefit. And in this case, it's pensions, but it can also apply to other things as well, which I'm sure some of the other speakers were going to be talking to you today about. Now this graphic here really visualizes this. So at the top there you see salary sacrifice, you see without salary sacrifice. So the employee pension contribution is actually included as part of the national insurance calculation. With salary sacrifice, you as the employer provide the whole contribution. So if it's the standard, it'll be 8%. You will then reduce the employee's gross salary, and the national insurance is only paid on that proportion. So it means that you pay less as an employer on national insurance. The employee will then also save on income tax and also employee NI as well. Now, there are some considerations with salary sacrifice. Firstly, you can't apply salary sacrifice to anyone that will bring their salary below minimum wage. So you do need to be careful if you have any individuals who are on a lower or minimum salary. Secondly, the employees will actually have to agree to this change as well. So if you are looking to implement salary sacrifice, you do need their consent. You do need to update their employee contract. And then the final thing as well is that if you have anyone who's going on to maternity leave, it's always advised to bring them off before because the maternity amount will be based on the weekly take home. So it's really important if you have any individuals going into maternity leave to be aware of that. The other thing as well is that often if you have someone who is applying for a mortgage, sometimes the provider will look at the gross salary, but pension providers like ourselves and you as the employer can actually provide a letter to mitigate this and to ensure that the bank is aware of the fact that you're using salary sacrifice. Now this is a handy calculator for anyone who is keen to see how much they could save from salary sacrifice. So this is available on our website. If you just Google salary sacrifice calculator Penfold, you'll be able to sort of toggle the things there and be able to see exactly how much you could save. So this here is an example. You have a 50-person business with an average salary of 33k. They could save over £12,000 with salary sacrifice. Now, very quickly, quick spiel about Penfold. So we are a modern workplace pension provider. Our mission is to help everyone to save enough for their later life. Now, we work with thousands of SMEs up and down the country, including businesses, including Moneyweb and also Scarborough Rugby Club. Now, the reason that businesses decide to switch to Penfold is a few things. Firstly, we have great customer service. Secondly, we have market-leading fund performance. And finally, we have an engaging app that allows our users to really understand their pension better. We have a great forecasting tool where they can see how much they need to save for their retirement. And if anyone's interested, I'll be here at the end and I'll be able to show you that in person, or anyone in the Moneyweb team, I'm sure they'll be able to show you as well. Now that concludes my talk. I've left a QR code up here for anyone interested in booking a call to find out more about Penfold. As I said, I'll be here at the end, so if anyone has any questions, then please do let me know. Thank you. Yes, no.
My, that's a big crowd. As I says, my name's Neil Wilson. I work for AXA Health, and Rob's asked me to come down this morning basically to give you an overview on private medical and why it's important for your business. Quick show of hands, anybody got private medical at their business? That's good, that's good. I think in the past private medical's had a few myths about it, that it's expensive, it's only for directors, it's not for the average working man, but that's changed a lot over the years. First thing is, what is private medical? It's got a lot of names: private health insurance, medical care, etc. Basically, private medical is designed to cover acute treatment, conditions, long-term problems, but we don't cover chronics. But the whole idea is choice. There's a lot of things on there, but basically The idea of private medical is to give you choice. It's to give you which hospital you go to, who you see, when you see them, and when you get treated. That's it in a nutshell. Basically, nothing complicated, just that. We all know at the moment NHS is under strain. You can't see a GP. Private medical, since COVID, is taken off. We've had 4 record years for SME, individual, large corporate. And there is other providers available if you wish. And we all know they have had record years as well. So why is it important to you guys? Well, first thing, fewer GPs. Try to get a GP appointment now. You're lucky if you can get one within 2 weeks. If you've got private medical, you can virtually, if you want to see the virtual GP, have an appointment the next day. If you want to pay for private GP visits, we can give you a module and basically you can go and see a private GP. But as we all know, you know, you've got to know you're going to be sick 3 weeks before to see your GP. So that's one side of private medical. It gives you access to a GP. There was a lot of stats and figures not available, but I thought they were the most impressive too. The wait time since COVID for any treatment virtually is 14.4 weeks. It's gone up from 6.9 weeks. If you're in an emergency, yes, you'll be treated. But hips, knees, anything else, you've got a long wait. There's around about 7.4 million individuals on the waiting list now. That's according to figures of January 25. Imagine if you want some treatment and you've got to get on that list. With private medical, you get your referral, you go, you ring up your provider, they'll book you in for your appointment. You can be within 4 to 5 days in having your treatment. The demand's changing now for private medical as well. As I said before, people viewed it as something that only posh people had, or it was very expensive. People have got an increased knowledge of health with social media. You're all wearing watches that can measure your blood pressure, your heartbeat, etc. They're more aware of health. They want to look after their health. Private medical isn't just for surgery, it's there for well-being. We have loads of modules that can help your well-being. Ease of use. In the past, it was difficult. Just to give you an example, before I joined 11 years ago, you had bronze, silver, gold, executive, VIP, all these different levels. Now you've got 2, and that's it. We've made it so easy for you to access it. It's all modular. You can put on as much as you want, take off as much as you want, be as expensive as you want, as cheap as you want. It's much easier to use, and with the, as I say, with watches, etc., makes life a lot easier. Increased facilities with private healthcare, more and more private hospitals springing up with more modern technology. We've got one in the Shard down in London Bridge, some fantastic machines there. And the beauty about private medical, as I said, it's choice. If you choose the module with the one hospital list, if you wanted to go to this hospital in the Shard, you could. We wouldn't stop you. That's part of your membership. Again, there's a renewed focus on health and well-being. People are more aware of what they want, and it's now become a valued employee benefit. When I joined AXA, private medical was something like number 6 on the most popular employee benefit. Since COVID, it's now become number 1 in a lot of cases. People want private medical. So you're supporting your employees, and as it says, demand for private healthcare has grown among the SMEs. When I joined, we were getting about, on the small enterprise side, we were getting about 30, 40 quotes every week. We're now getting maybe 400 to 500 every week, a couple of thousand every month. And that's from businesses that only employ 1 person up to 65, which is what we normally call an SME. But mid-corporate would be 100, but we can do SME at 100. So the demand is out there, but particularly among the smaller enterprises. So what it means to you, well, that's a lot of bullet points, But basically, I think they're all very relevant. It's now viewed as a number one employee benefit by staff. As I said, we were number 6. We are now number 1. Absence management. Basically, a lot of staff off sick. They're waiting for GPs, referrals, or they're waiting to go into hospital. It helps manage your absentees. Employer of choice. A lot of people now expect it. If they're going to join an employer, if you can offer private medical, it makes you want a choice over somebody who doesn't. Saving money. Saves you money, because if your staff aren't off on sick, they're at work, they're being productive. So although you may be paying for the staff private medical, it is saving you money. You've got a healthier workforce, less sick days. It adds value to the company profile. Better choice for employees. And by offering it to them, it gives them a choice of when they can be treated. You foster good employee relations, and you do create a happier and healthier workforce. They're not all sitting there moaning about their back, their knees, because they can go and see a physio the next day, or they can be treated for it. How it works. Basically, there's 4 choices of private medical, but for you guys, it's mainly SME, corporate or global. We can do small businesses. As I say, we can do corporate and global. If you've got people working abroad, we can do private medical for them abroad. I hate to repeat myself, but why PMI? Because it gives you access to diagnostics and treatment. You get your choice of appointments, you get your choice of specialists. And it's an improved ratio. When you go into the private hospital, you've got a private room, good conditions. It makes a healthier workforce. I'm not going to go too much into the cover options, because if you are interested, I'm sure Chris or Paul can put a quote together for you, or you can come and talk to me later. But basically, as I said, in the past, you had this litany of different things you had to pick. Now it's very easy. Treatment, an in or day patient, therapies, mental health, cancer treatment. You can put as many of them on as you want, or as few. Very modular, very simple. We do have 2 products. We have business health, which if you're using a car analogy, that's the Rolls Royce, and business protect, that's probably a Ford Mondeo. You can pick either one. At the moment, business protect is only available if you don't have existing cover, but if you can't afford business health, you can go to business protect. The only difference is your hospital choice is less, and that's it. That is the modules. That's what you would have to pick from. Included as standard, you've got a 24/7 health support line. That's got midwives on, pharmacists, nurses, counsellors. Ring them anytime. Phone and online support for muscles and bones. That's your physio line. I've used it myself. Try to swing too hard on the golf course and put my back out. Basically, don't need a GP referral. You ring up the line of physios and they'll book you in. Online GP service, that's your video GP, as many consultations as you would like. Specialist appointment booking service, that's to get you there as quick as possible, see the consultant of choice. And we do offer discounts on things like Nuffield gyms, etc. The other cover options is, as I mentioned, you can pick as many of them as you want or not. It's entirely up to you, entirely what you think suits your business and your workforce. We always get asked, how do you make a claim? Dead simple, 4 steps. See your GP, ask for an open referral. You then call the claims line. They check your cover, see which hospital do you want, book you in to see a consultant, and you're away. And as I say, normally you're in hospital within 4 to 5 days of doing the phone call. As I say, there's other providers out there. Why AXA Health? Comprehensive coverage. We've got over 450 hospitals on our list. huge network of health providers, scanning centres, etc. We do offer wellness programs. We've got a global option if you've got people working abroad. Good customer support. All our call centres are UK based, spread throughout the Scotland and Wales and Ireland. Flexible and customisation. Yeah, it's flexible. You can put on what you want, take off what you want. When it comes to renewal, it's a yearly plan. You can change it around. Everybody here probably thinks Bupa is the #1 healthcare provider. And they are. They've got about 36% of the market. However, AXA have been doing it longer. We've been doing it since 1948. So we do have quite a good reputation. Digital, we are trying to make everything digital. So for you guys, it makes it a lot easier for you to get appointments, get in touch with people, apps on your phone, etc. Limitations, basically, we have very few on our policies. That's just to give you some idea of who we are and where we are. Any questions at all? Nope. Thank you very much. That was easy.
Okay. Thanks, Neil. Morning, all. So, my name is Chris Binns. I am Business Development Manager. I am also a Chartered Financial Planner for Moneyweb. This morning, I'm the only person that will be presenting to you on one of the employee benefits that you are able to look at. We've got guest speakers from other providers. That was a very purposeful and specific decision that we made. The area that I'm going to talk to you about is a massive market, and there are numerous different providers available. Being hand on heart, the people that you've got here today are our favoured providers that we work with from a service, cost, and just generally, we think that the overall proposition is right. What I'm going to talk to you about today around group death in service, group critical illness and group income protection, largely, as you'll see, is two different aspects. Number one, without being too blunt about it, death in service, which is life cover, you're either here or you're not here. Therefore, that's very cost driven. Therefore, it'd be unfair for us to get a provider in to talk about their service, because ultimately the service will pay out whether that individual is dead or not, as the case may be. But let me just expand a little bit. So, death in service, what is it? I'm sure a number of you will already have this type of provision as part of your employee benefits. Put very simply, it's a tax-free lump sum that is paid out in the event of one of your employees passing. There's various different permutations and ways that you can actually put this cover in force. The most popular is on a multiple of salary. So you can stipulate and say, look, we'd like an individual who's on £20,000 a year to have a multiple of 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times of their service paid out in the event of their passing. You can also break it down and provide different levels of cover for different people within your business, which I know when I'm speaking to my clients, a number of you are here today, it's one of the things that I talk about. You probably want to think about rewarding your senior managers, perhaps your directors, the people who have, say, control, influence, who are much more difficult to replace, and you'd like to afford them a higher level of cover than perhaps someone who still does a great job but is more replaceable and quicker to get that individual in. One of the key things in death in service cover is making sure it is as simple as possible for every business. And when we talk about simplicity, really all we're talking about is one touch point per calendar year with us as a company. So what does that look like? Well, to start with, we'd obviously set cover up. 12 months time, that's our next touch point. Well, actually, it's about 10.5 months, because we want to be speaking to you about 6 weeks before renewal. And at that point, what we are doing is we're checking to make sure, have there been any changes in terms of people that are employed within your business and also salary levels. The beauty of that is, during that whole time period from when the policy is set up to policy renewal, you can have people coming and going, people joining, people leaving. It does not matter. As long as a contract of employment and you've made us aware that's how you want it to be set up, you don't need to be picking up the phone or dropping us an email every 2 minutes to say, so-and-so's left, so-and-so's joined, somebody's had a pay rise, someone's had a pay cut. Individuals are automatically covered from day one, and if there's any changes that are made, we don't need to know. The insurance company doesn't need to know. All that happens at the renewal point, there is a sweeping up exercise. So if you started off and you had 100 employees and the premium was based on that, and by the end of the year, you now had 120 and 20 had joined bang on 6 months into that, there'd be proportionate additional premium payable. So it's a really simple way to make sure that you've got people who are covered from day dot, the minute that they join. Equally, if you've got people who leave, you'll also get that rebate back, so you're not paying for someone who isn't covered. Income protection works very similar in terms of the tax side of things. So unlike death in service, which is a lump sum tax-free in the event of passing, this is a tax-free regular income if someone is unable to attend work due to long-term illness. We're in quite a fortunate position, our business. We deal with predominantly relatively affluent, well-off individuals who have got money in the bank. If they had a period of sustained inability to work, they've probably got the cash that they can go to and use and plug that income gap if they didn't have this type of cover. The question I'd ask, and you know your business is better than anybody, if you think about the demographic of your business, if someone was off for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, what sick pay arrangements do you have? How long would they be able to keep on putting food on the table, paying the mortgage, the gas, the council tax, the electric, everything else that needs paying? I'd hazard a guess, for the vast majority of people, they probably scrape by for 3 or 4 months. Then it's credit cards, then it's loans, then it's friends, family helping out. What income protection is designed to do is remove all that headache and worry. So if an individual is in an unfortunate position that they can't attend work due to illness, this type of policy kicks in and pays them a tax-free regular income until they're able to return back to work or until their stated retirement age if it's structured in such a way. So it gives absolute peace of mind at a time when someone is going through what is typically quite a stressful time anyway because of their health. This removes the financial burden. Lastly, group critical illness. So works very similar to the other two policies, but it does what it says on the tin, which is this is paying out in the event of someone suffering and being diagnosed with a critical illness. So life cover is life cover, the death in service. Income protection is someone not being able to work due to long-term illness. This could be a case that someone is still able to work, but has been diagnosed with cancer, heart attack, they've had a stroke, whatever it is. And again, it's a tax-free lump sum that's paid out. We tend to structure it in a very similar way to death in service, where we work on a multiple of salary. That's what most people would say. And it's designed to provide a lump sum of money that that individual can do what the hell they want with. So they can use that money to, they could say, well, actually, you know what? I want to pay my mortgage off. They might be in a position where, unfortunately, they haven't spoken to us, they haven't had a product like Neil's offering, therefore, they don't have access to private medical, and what they want to do is jump the NHS queue and pay for private treatment. It's their money. They can do what they want. No one's going to stipulate it. On all the three products, I think it's really important to note, I've been in the industry now for 28 years, and the common objection I get is, well, these are all insurance companies. They're all thieves. They're not going to pay out in the event of these claims. That's utter nonsense. I won't embarrass or, from a data protection point of view, share anything in the room, but there's one business here who, in the last 6 months, has had a claim for death in service that we've paid out, well, we haven't, but the insurer has paid out on. I've got a client who is currently just had the payout for critical illness. These things pay out. Insurance companies these days, they're not ones to try and duck out of it. If it is a genuine claim, if there is the cover's there, they pay out, and it's really, really worthwhile. So, When we look at life cover, as I say, it would have been massively unfair for us to invite just one of the insurers down to talk today, because fundamentally life cover is life cover. You're either here or you're not here. Yes, but actually, very similar to what you've already heard from Neil, lots of the companies that we deal with now actually bolt on additional peripheral benefits to the main cover. So if we're talking about life cover and death in service as the prime example, the primary benefit is if that individual dies, it's going to pay out a lump sum free of tax to the beneficiary's family. However, what a number of providers now have are lots of peripheral benefits that sit alongside their policies as standard. Some don't, so it's choice for you as employers, whether you just want something that is, I don't want to use the term basic, but it does its job. It pays out life cover in the event of a claim, it pays out critical illness cover, it pays out income protection, or whether actually you would like to look at some of the peripheral benefits. And I only mention that because there'll be a number of you in this room who have already got some of the cover that I've talked about. It'd be an ideal opportunity when your renewal comes to actually say, you know what, can you have a look at not only from a cost point of view what the renewal would be, but actually, I remember Chris saying that there's other benefits, and we're quite interested to hear from some of the other providers to see whether there is some of the additional bolt-ons that we can add. So things like Tooth Fairy is a prime example. I'm really lucky. I've got an NHS dentist, happens to be one of my mates and also one of my clients. So I've got his mobile number. If I have a problem, I've got awful toothache at the moment, I'm dosed up on antibiotics. Not a problem at all. I text him on Friday. Antibiotics are sitting at the dentist reception about 2 hours later for me to collect. Not a problem at all. Most people can't afford that luxury. So something like Tooth Fairy is dentistry on demand. That is an additional benefit that is attached to some of the types of cover. So when we say life cover is life cover, not quite. So just expanding on those a little bit, just going back a slide. So things like 24 access to health and well-being. So you've got all sorts of different benefits that you can build in. And this is just one provider that we deal with. This is Canada Life, actually, out of example. These guys offer a fantastic product with all the additional benefits that sit alongside there. I look at that and actually I could probably do with about half a dozen of those myself at this moment in time. Things like healthy diet at work and diet support and different bits and bobs. But that's all built in, and it's built in as standard. Tooth Fairy I've touched on. It's great, it's really simple. Members can literally pick up the phone, they can instantly speak to a dentist, get diagnosed to what the problem is, and then get sorted and seen very quickly if they wish to do so. My strength, I'm sure it's becoming more and more prevalent these days, it certainly is, in terms of making sure from a mental health and well-being perspective this is covered. And again, this is one of the additional benefits that is built in as standard. The second medical opinion is extremely worthwhile. Second medical opinion is when someone has been diagnosed as suffering from something not particularly nice and they've effectively been told there's no solution or cure. The second medical opinion service will then actually do exactly what it says on the tin. It will look outside of the UK, it will look outside some of the prescribed and agreed treatments that are only available in the UK, and it'll look overseas. There are lots of different things and different trials and different medical views outside of the UK. And what this would do is say, well, actually, you've been diagnosed as this, the NHS have told you X, and there's no cure. Actually, over in America, there's this going on, and that would be an option then. Bereavement counselling built in. Obviously, we know exactly what that is. So when we say that life cover is life cover, it really isn't quite as black and white as that. Yes, if you're looking for a great policy that does exactly what it needs to do, would pay out in the event of a claim, there are umpteen different providers that we can go to. If actually from a cost point of view, cost isn't the driver and what you're looking for is quality of cover, then I'd really encourage you either at the point of renewal or if it's something that you're thinking about implementing to actually flag that and say, look, please look at the wider market as well. That's everything from me. Thank you for your time. I hope you've enjoyed the first two presenters today. We've got two more fantastic presenters to come. Without further ado, I'll hand you over to Rachel.
Morning, everybody. So, my name's Rachel. I'm here from Health Shield. First things first, how many of you knows what a cash plan is or know what a cash plan is? So that's good. So, basically, a cash plan is a cost-effective way to help to support employee benefits through their everyday health needs through the workforce. And then what it does, it reimburses the cost of day-to-day health expenses, where you've heard already some of the things like virtual GP, offering support into the 24/7 counselling as well. But it's not only that, it offers support with getting the money back on day-to-day care at dentists, opticians, etc. Which is, I think, what's the difference between this and the PMI? Well, basically, a cash fine as well, it gives you comprehensive cover, like I said, in the dental, optical, physiotherapy, and alternative therapies that are available to support the everyday needs. We at Health Shield can offer a variety of different health cash plans. So we've offered a flexible tailored plan, which can suit and mirror what it is that you're looking to implement as an employee. If it's particular areas of interest that you might want to include, we can tailor that for you as well. It offers easy access to claiming as well. So we are very known in the industry for paying us back it very, very quickly. And it makes it a lot easier and affordable for people to get that money straight back into their personal bank accounts. So it doesn't go through payroll at all. We also have a strong customer support. So our customer service is actually one of the highest within our particular industry. And I'll touch on that in a bit more in a second. So why invest in a cash plan compared to something like a PMI that you have already heard of? So very similar situations of what you already heard of PMI. There is a strong demand at the moment, and there is definitely been an increase year on year for cover in this particular area. In fact, there was a recent FSB survey that demonstrated that a cash fund is one of the most fair values that you can implement as an employee benefit. It can help improve the overall everyday costs and financially support routine healthcare. So literally getting that money back from prevention, seeing a dentist. You can go and see that dentist, whether it be NHS or private, put the claim in, and then book to claim that money back straight into their bank accounts. It also can help to reduce and make more productive in the workforce. So 6% of the workforce admit that they don't want to go to work. So again, it touches on the absenteeism to help to reduce that by making sure people are signpost people to using the virtual GP or to see early access to speak to a consultant at their own choice as well. It also helps with that talent as well. So for retaining staff, we've also known in the industry that there's a lot more emphasis on retaining staff. People now look at what additional benefits are included when they're wanting, particularly when it comes to NHS and difficulties, what health benefits are available to them. So if I'm advertising or offering this particular service, it shows that you're supporting the health and well-being of staff, and they can utilise that as an additional benefit as part of their remuneration package. So just some current stats there, just to show exactly what that return on investment might be for you as an individual company. Absenteeism was spoken about. On average, £784 per employee is lost due to people being out of work through this. You've then got more productivity as well. So healthy employees are stated to be more productive. So again, by retaining staff in the workforce, get that more productivity aspect as well. Mental health, again, a lot of similarities to what you've already heard. But basically, by supporting in benefits such as a health cash plan, you're able then to support the workforce with that engagement for the long term and that retention piece as well. So why Health Shield then compared to some other competitors that are out there? Health Shield has long-standing history, and we date back over 145 years. We particularly started in the railway industry, believe it or not. And so throughout the years, we've obviously gained a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience in that particular area. We look to, in the moment, going through a quite heavy, strong and digital transformation program at the moment, and that will be launching later this year, where we're going to be enhancing that digital service as well. So things like portals we're going to be launching. We're going to have a new updated app as well, which will really cut us to the forefront amongst our competitors. And also next month, we're going to be launching a new MI reporting service, which will really drill down into the granular level as you see exactly what your employees are actually claiming for. So rather than it just listing a dental claim or an optical claim, you might be able to investigate further and see, well, how many people are having the checkups of the dentist, how many people are having prescriptions, glasses or contact lenses, etc. Or there might be a particular trade did physiotherapy. There's a particular spike at a particular time of the year where you're seeing a lot of staff are particularly with issues with their max. It might need addressing internally, that there's something that we need to emphasise on and have that discussion within the presentation to staff. So by giving you those granular level of details, we're then going to be supporting and try to support the wellbeing aspect of staff as well, so that you're almost preventing it ahead of time to prevent any potentially further issues. These are just some of the examples of some of the businesses that we work with, and they're not all up there, but it just gives you a flavour of the type and the level that we deal with. We can have anything from SME to larger corporates. I think our largest one's got over 4,000 staff on currently. So we've got a broad range of spectrum across a number of different industries as well. So I'm going to talk you now through a little bit about the actual plans themselves and what they might look like. So firstly, we offer a select cash plan, which is our go-to off-the-shelf ideal for sort of SME and true sort of level. And what this does is by introducing a cash plan, you're able to then claim back on the everyday costs of regular health and well-being. So for example, dental, optical, physiotherapy treatments, chiropody, health and well-being, which covers 23 different treatment areas, including sports massages and aromatherapy massage, hot stones massage, for example, that staff are booked to play back on. A health screening program, so if people want that MOT, well-woman, well-run sort of clinic checkup, then we can look to cover that as well. Specialist consultations and scanning, so similar to, we've heard about what PMI is. If, for example, at cash plan, we have a lot of customers that implement the cash plan that potentially sits alongside PMI, because it's more about the preventative cause and with the cash plan rather than needing it when obviously potentially something's a bit more serious. So by using and having access to specialist consultations, you can see that consultant ahead of time of a preventative sort of measure as well. Dental accidents, a separate allowance for that direct blow to, if you need a separate allowance, you perhaps need a little bit more allowance in terms of more checkups and more treatment work, and you have a separate allowance for that for you to utilise. And also personal accident protection is covered as well for you, just in case there is that need for an event situation. So you as a company or business can look to implement this from as little as 3 employees. We take this, it's company pay level, so you would implement this company paid level of your choice. So you can look to implement to level 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., however you wish. And then staff would then get that allowance then for the coming year as well. So they'll have 12 months to look to claim and use that allowance. To take the level 2, for example, dental, they would have £90 towards their dental to visit a dentist, have checkups, have treatment, whether it be root canal, veneers, teeth whitening, over the course of those 12 months. And then it will renew again at the next annual renewal as well. Also sitting alongside this as well, and just to touch on, is that we cover children, which is very much a family policy. So there's no limit to the number of children that can be included on the plan up to the age of 21. They get their own individual allowance as well, so they don't share with siblings at all. And then they can also, there's also no upper age limit as well, in terms of actually adding on to the plan as well. So we mitigated that as well. All pre-existing conditions are covered, so there's no need to scone any referral at all. Everybody from the off would be on the plan and covered straight away. Sitting alongside those monetary sort of values, we also offer additional benefits as well. So things like GP anytime, 24/7 counselling and support helpline, retail discounts, Skin Vision, and also My Ginger's Health. And I'll touch on those in a little bit more detail in another couple of slides' time. So that is the off-the-shelf offering, probably more, I would say, for the smaller SME market. But what I wanted to touch on as well was our tailor plan. So this is quite unique in the marketplace in that we can really bespoke to the clients in your client's individual needs. So if there is a particular area that you wanted to focus on, maybe you have already a dental plan in place, so you don't necessarily want to include that, we can look to strip and build and pick and mix basically the plan to suit your individual business requirements and budget requirements as well. It's aimed at the larger SME, or for a minimum of 12,000 spend, but by doing that, you're making that plan bespoke to your individual business. So you can then tailor it to your individual needs, to your own budget, only include the items of benefits that you really want to include. This is also available in terms of the additional amounts, so exactly the same that you might have on the Select plan. There are a couple of differences that are included in here that aren't available on the Select plan, which include your hospital benefits, your maternity cover, a prescription charge, vaccinations as well. So that's just worth bearing in mind if you wanted to include those that aren't available on our current Select plan as it is at the moment. So sitting alongside those monetary benefits, so staff, obviously members can look to claim and put their claims in on everyday healthcare costs. It's that really is that preventative by treatment that you can claim in advance. Or sitting alongside that are third-party benefits as well. So firstly, because similar to what we've heard already, we're very aware of the average wait time to bring we're all there 8 o'clock in the morning trying to get through to our GPs. 24/7 GP helpline is available to speak to over the phone that comes as standard as part of either of our cash plans. They are able as well to prescribe prescriptions, so if there is a case that prescription is needed, they can be sent to the home or to the work address as well for convenience. We also include a 24/7 counselling support helpline. There is an addition as well to enhance that service to include up to 8 face-to-face counselling sessions if they wanted to. But it covers all aspects of financial worries, stress, bereavement, legal advice, relationship issues. You can have the confidence to speak to a counsellor at the end of the phone and signpost your staff to use that service if they need to as well. There's also an app that sits alongside it which offers various tools, including fitness classes. There might be some recipe ideas on there for healthy well-being as well. Lifestyle, live chat as well as articles and Spotify playlists as well to help with relaxation and things like that. So it's not just the support line, there's a whole host as well that sits alongside that. Landscape with can sit as well, you can add on those face-to-face counselling sessions to sit alongside the 24/7 support line as well. Perks is our retail discount site, so we work with a third party called Benefits Hub. This offers, if you're very familiar with like a Quidco or top cashback sort of aspect, retail discount is available from all your typical supermarkets, so your Tesco's, your Sainsbury's. Literally, you can find any discount on there that they'll be typically offer codes and various different limits depending on obviously what the brands they want to include. High street stores, your Next, your Marks and Spencer's typically offer prices on there. Jet2 holidays and car parking, airport, trains, you name it. There's a whole host of different offers on there that you can look to utilise the 6 month side. So again, it's adding that added value to the cash plan. So not only are they getting their money back on their treatments, but they can also look to use for a retail aspect as well. Skin Vision, so we launched with this only last year, and it is, as the name suggests, it's that early detection for the most common skin cancers. So it works by using your phone, so your camera phone, so you can take images of skin spots or moles on your skin. It uses the wonderful world of AI and algorithms to sort of check and give you a risk rating. If that comes back that it's showing high risk, then you've got that evidence and support there to go to your GP to get referred for a dermatologist just to obviously check if everything is okay. If it comes back with a lower risk, then it will set you reminders for 3 months' time to recheck your walls, because as we are well aware, things can change. So it does send you those reminders to keep rechecking just to see if there has been any changes. All our existing business went on to risk and vision as well last year, and I believe at the last count I had at least, I think it was about 60 confirmed cases of skin cancer that we've been made aware of our members from using this service, and that was only launched last year as well. So it really is that early detection sort of service and that peace of mind as well. My gym discounts, so it's a very similar way to how the perks works, but it is purely on that gym side. So if you've got some fitness fanatics amongst you, if you're wanting to use the My Gym Discounts area, it works by using your postcode. So you pop your postcode in and it'll pull up various gyms in and around a local area. It might be things like Daily Lloyd and Upfield, Pure Gym. Sometimes there's some council dues on there. Sometimes there is some local hotels with health clubs associated that might decide to put some codes on there as well. And some typical examples include 10 months with price of 12 and the joining fee, for example, as well. But it all just depends on what that gym or that health club is putting on at that particular time. There's also a small retail discount site on there as well. So sitting alongside the retail perk site that we have, this particular company offers more along the sports brands and also the health and fitness like the Peloton or MyProtein, for example. We sometimes put perks on there as well. So that, again, we sit alongside the actual cash plan. And then finally, an on-demand physio. So as well as using the actual monetary element of your cash plan to go and see a physiotherapist physically as well, you also can have on speak to a qualified therapist on demand by using a telephone service. And what happens is they can call you back or a video call on the phone and give you a personalised and triage program to support you through that. So you could use that sitting alongside using the physiotherapy benefit of your actual cash plan as well. What's really exciting, like I said, touched on at the start of this presentation, was that we are very much near the end of quite a large £6 million digital transformation programme at Health Shield. We'll be launching a brand new updated app that's going to be coming later on this year. We already have an app in the marketplace, but it is going to be enhanced even further. We've also got a brand new customer portal coming and a brand new broker portal as well. So you as customers will be able to have direct access to go in and manage your own particular scheme and your own particular plan by yourselves, by joiners leave it in real time as well. So it's going to be an instant access for you as well. So it's a really, really exciting times ahead. And that's it. So thank you very much.
There we go. Cheers, Rachel. Thank you. Well, I suppose incidentally that makes me the main event of the morning. So judging off the pink octopuses that are filling the room, I think we'll go with being in the pink corner. So I'm Dom, Corporate Sales Manager at Octopus Electric Vehicles. So a subtle clue there of what I'm here to talk to you all today about. But before we do dive into it, just out of curiosity, I didn't see many in the car park, but do we have any EV drivers amongst us today? 1, 2, 3, a room full of opportunities, hopefully. Number 2, just out of curiosity, do we have anybody that's considered, or a family member that's considered getting an EV in the last 12 to 18 months? 1, 2, gonna have to get the convincing coat on today, I think. Actually, third question, just out of interest, given the option hands up, if you could pay less taxes, would you? Yes, there we go, got some hands up eventually, so thank you for that. Unfortunately, I'm not here this morning to abolish tax, so bad news on that front, but hopefully I have a solution for you and your team that are looking to get into an EV, the most affordable and easiest way currently in the market. Now, Moneyweb have partnered with us on this, so I think Chris and Rob touched on it, that they partner with people that not only offer the best offers, the service, but in terms of a proposition, we're currently the only provider in the UK that offer the complete EV solution. So it's not just the car, it's the charger, it's the green energy to power the car, and also most importantly, especially for a lot of you that may be looking to get into it for the first time, the expert guidance that can reassure you and talk you through this being the right choice for you. Oh.
It's not. Is it the right? Sorry, is it the right?
Should be.
It's not. Oh, it's not working.
You haven't plugged it into your electric car, have you?
See if it's working off this.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. So a lot of you are probably more familiar with our bigger brother, Octopus Energy, and you might well be one of the 7.3 million customers currently in the UK. But similar to Big Brother, we've been making really positive waves within our industry, the automotive industry. Since becoming a fully fledged leasing company in 2021, actually April 21, so next month is our 4-year anniversary, 6,000 employers just like yourselves here today have selected us as their EV benefits partner. To put that into perspective, on average, that's 5 new accounts per working day, which it's safe to say it's kept myself and my team pretty busy. But on another note, we're very proud to have 27,000 EVs on the road with the aim of surpassing 30,000 by the end of next month, which makes us the largest all-electric lease company fleet in the UK currently. In this time, similar to Big Brother, we've not only experienced rapid growth towards becoming the biggest provider in our space, but also we've kept excellent customer service at the epicentre of everything that we do. And as they say, the proof is in the pudding, hopefully, with our excellent 4.8 score on Trustpilot, which makes us currently the most trusted provider in our marketplace as well. Oh, I think we're working now, Chris.
It's all right, I'll stay here.
We're cooking with renewable energy. So free, flexible and no commitments. You're probably thinking I'm here to tell you about the prior chapter to meeting my beloved wife, but that's not the case. But I'm here to speak to you decision makers and business owners today and hopefully give you reasons why hopefully this may be a no-brainer for you as the employer. So what I mean when I say that is that it costs absolutely nothing to set this up, nor are there any management fees, admin fees, or even are there any minimum requirements on order uptake, spend, volume, business sizes. The doors are open to all business sizes. With that in mind as well, when we say no commitments, just run through it there, but also the fact that there is no order requirements as well. But in terms of moving on to the next slide, what other benefits there are for you as the employer. Now, I'm sure there'll be some of you amongst us today. I know we've got finance, payroll, HR here that have had the headache of managing traditional company car fleets of the past. Well, the good news that our modern day scheme is extremely easy to administer and easy to run. We take care of all the day-to-day management. In addition to that, it's extremely easy to run using the digital tools that we put in place as well, namely our HR dashboard, where you'll have access to monthly consolidated invoices, payroll reports, and lots of great tools you can see how the scheme's performing as well. In addition to that as well, it's a great way of boosting your benefits package. So it's been a hot topic today, quite rightfully so. If you are an employer that's, struggling for recruitment or retention challenges at the minute, this is a great way of revamping your rewards package and offering something a little bit different. By offering a scheme that offers 2, 3 or 4-year contracts and has proven to see only 6 in every 100 drivers actually hand that car back early. So again, proves it's a great way of keeping on to your best talent as well. But the third point, obviously being a part of a renewable energy company, the great thing about us, if you partnered with us, we'd be the perfect partner for supporting you on that journey. It's a great way of creating a greener culture within your organisation, so we can not only enable people to live cheaper and greener lives, but also help educate them on that front as well. Did you know if you were to switch 10 of your drivers out of petrol into EVs, it could reduce your carbon emissions by approximately 50 tonnes of CO2. And again, you'll be given access to this kind of data on that HR dashboard. So if you do have any ESG goals or strategies or reports that you have to do, it works hand in hand with that. Now, another hot topic of the day, quite rightfully so, we're all expecting that national insurance rise, that hike next month, which will hike it to 15%. Now, the great thing about our product is that we give you, the employer, the choice what to do with those savings. Now, if you want to be like many of our clients that want to offer their staff the maximum reward at no cost to them, they opt to pass on 10% to the employee's monthly rentals to lower it as a reward. It's been proven to boost uptake, actually doubling it in some cases, which then feeds into the retention positives and the sustainability positives as well. And just to give you an idea, with the 5% that's retained, so that remains, that's more than enough to cover your Class 1A benefit in kind tax, but in addition, save approximately about £400 per lease on average just to boost that as well. So obviously the more cars you order, that figure will accumulate as well. Now, in terms of what's included in the package for you as the employee and what your team will have the benefit of, is a great package that's probably the most comprehensive in the marketplace at the minute. Now, there's a lot of providers out there that offer typical things for the day-to-day stuff, but what this does is take out the stress and the cost and the unpleasant surprises that we've all experienced as drivers in the UK. So everything from the day-to-day stuff, so your road tax, your MOT, your annual service, your new tyres, your breakdown cover provided by the AA, that's factored into this package, and it is easily accessed via our driver helpline as well. So as I said, nobody in your company will get bogged down with the management side of things. That's what we're here to take care of. But it's not just that. We understand that as employers, it's not just the employees' lifestyles that you're wanting to look after, but naturally you want to look at your risk protection as well. So we're proud to say that we've got the market-leading risk protection in terms of the what-if scenario. So just to quickly touch on those, our early termination protection is there for those employees that leave the business or if their circumstances change significantly. So for instance, if somebody went onto long-term sick, it's day one cover where they can hand the car back free of charge, reducing a lot of risk and cost on that front. In addition, the fully comprehensive insurance cover that's provided by Aviva, best in the marketplace currently, covers everything from a little dint in the car park at the supermarket where it's very frustrating to come back and see, or God forbid your car getting written off in a really bad accident. The gap cover takes care of that and more importantly ensures that nobody's going to be liable for any big costs on that front. Just so you know as well, for those that are interested in getting into it, it does add more flexibility, so family members can be added to the policy as well. But what makes us different, what makes us stand out? As I mentioned at the beginning, it's the overall proposition. And we understand in making people transition to EV, we have to incentivise them to do that. So the great news is that I'd love to share that if somebody did place an order via our scheme, if they have the luxury of off-street parking at home, so a driveway or a garage, they'll be entitled to a free home charger in an installation that will be taken care of by our Octopus Energy Services team. Just to give you an idea, that's an incentive with it's worth just under £1,000. So again, really big incentive on that front. But as a forward-thinking company, we understand that not everybody's got a driveway at home. And that's feedback that we had traditionally when we first started this. Like, what about our staff that are in a terraced house or an apartment? They're not going to be able to get that £1,000 incentives. Well, the good news is that relying on our network, our tech, our people, our relationships, we've managed to set up the Octopus Electroverse network, which currently has coverage of 90% of the public chargers in the UK currently. So if you are a person that has a terraced house or a driveway, you'll be given 4,000 miles of free energy to use at the public chargers. To give you an idea, that's roughly around about £650 to £700 worth of public charger miles as well. And as we provide energy to a lot of these public charger suppliers, we actually get discounts as well. So in turn, our customers that will have access to what is, I suppose, a modern day fuel card system, they'll get discounts throughout the day on charging as well. But as I said, we're part of a renewable energy company. So for those employees that do have access to a charger at home, this is a big win for them. So if they join our EV tariff at home, they'll be entitled to 4,000 miles worth of credit loaded onto their energy account. To give you an idea, that 4,000 miles has a value of £100. So if you're the average driver in the UK that's probably doing 8,000 miles per annum at the minute, On the tariffs at Octopus Energy, where we capture 1 in 3 EV drivers currently, you could run your car for as little as £200 per annum, which is significant. As I mentioned, with the EG charging tariff, the incentives don't stop there. As an Octopus EV customer, you'll get access to an exclusive 1p discount. Now, I know that doesn't sound a lot, but these are the things that we try and open up to, and that will allow each member of your team, especially for those people that are on the 20% tax band that are eligible for this, this is where the proposition starts to make more sense, because it's not just the insurance that they're saving on a monthly basis, or their MOT, or their road tax, or their tyres, whatever it is. We can also significantly help with running charges as well. Now, we also understand that it's great people enjoy not only the big incentives, but the little things in life. So Octopus are our little perks, where you'll be entitled to a free coffee each week, and also 2-for-1 Odeon tickets as well. So everybody loves a freebie. I'm more of a Greggs man, but if you're Cafe Nero, knock yourself out. Being a part of a renewable energy group, it's not just energy where we stop and EVs. We have a part in low carbon tech as well. So for people that do have an EV, our data suggests that you're 70% more likely to invest in another piece of low carbon tech. So the great news is that if you were to partner with us, your EV drivers that place an order will also be entitled to a £500 discount off solar panels or heat pumps at home. So heat pumps are what are hopefully going to replace gas boilers in the future, and I'm sure a lot of you have had issues with gas boilers. But also, just to tag on to that, it's not actually just the EV drivers. Now, even for your employees that don't have a driving license, or don't drive, or don't want an EV, you'll be able to give them an incentive by partnering with us on this as well. Now, in terms of some offers, we understand that it's not just our excellent service, our product, we also have to have the offers to go along with that as well, especially if we want to hit that 30,000 EVs on the road target by the end of next month. So with that in mind, because of the volumes in which we do, we get access to really good discounts with OEMs. So that then translates through to the rentals that employees see on a monthly basis. And just these examples here, I've picked them out. We also offer nearly new options as well. So what that is a demographic of vehicles that are less than 18 months old and 15,000 miles on the clock. So those cars that do come back to us early, what that does is open up the doors for people on, like, say, 27, 28, 29,000 pounds per annum. So we're doing some great work in making this more affordable. But these three options here, run that on a 40% tax band, 3 years, 8,000 miles per annum. On this vehicle here, the BMW iX1, which is my aspirational car at the minute, hopefully I'll be getting that at the back end of this year. To compare that to a consumer package, so a personal lease, you're probably looking at £700 per month. Now that is just purely for the lease. It's not got all the added extras within our package which make this a no-brainer. The other two there, sub £300 per month, the Cupra and the Emoda, which is a new Chinese manufacturer that's entered the UK marketplace. Sub 300 for the package which I've shown you there is the reason why this is so popular for people in the UK looking to get into an EV at the moment. But there's a lot of things that we do, some great things, hopefully you can see with the amount of employers that we have signed up. But what I will say is that what we really pride ourselves on, and the fact that we don't charge anything to set this up or to run the scheme for you, ultimately what that means is that we have to generate the interest, the excitement, but also educate people on EVs as well. We're not here to force it on you, but we do a lot of great work in events. So whether that is setting up a space in your office as a discovery day, bringing some of the plushies along with us, or even if it's just coming to the car park and bringing some EVs that you can test drive. We do some amazing work on events because we want this to be an engaging benefit, and these services are free of charge as well. So it's not just the launches that we take care of and we listen to and we tailor that to your needs and your requirements. So whether you'd like to launch it virtually on a webinar, that proves to be quite popular at the minute. But if you would like to go all out and have an event, you can speak to our events manager and we can make we can get something into the diary for you as well. So it looks like it's frozen there, but actually once it gets to the top, it's 1,000 employees in the UK currently that have access to our electric vehicle scheme. Some big brands on there, Fever-Tree, Dyson, PepsiCo, part of Walkers as well, Co-op, Nando's, Standard Life. As you can see, we're trusted by a lot of big players in the UK currently. So I'll be around all this morning. Hopefully some of you would like to have a chat. I've got some bigger pink plushies in the corner which are up for grabs as well. But yeah, any questions at all, come and pick my brains. There's only so much we can run through in 15 minutes. So yeah, I would love to engage with some of you and answer any questions you've got. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Right, we're 6 minutes away from bacon sandwiches, which is the most important thing. Firstly, any questions while we were all sat down here to either us, Moneyweb, or any of the guys that have come down this morning? Feel free now to fire loads of questions out. If not, you can pick them up while we're having some more tea and coffees and bacon sandwiches. This is when nobody says anything. Okay. Firstly, I'd like to thank all the guys and Rachel for coming down and presenting. Some of them have come a long way this morning. Some of them stayed overnight. So thank you guys for coming down. I think you've all presented really well today. Thank you as well, Chris. I won't forget you in the corner there. I think if you can find it and all the goodies that you've got on your tables, there's a feedback sheet that we've produced. It looks a little like this. That's the one. That one there. So if you can try and fill that in. If anybody wants to have a chat with us about any of the things that you've heard today, whether that's pensions, whether that's private medical, or anything else, then please feel free to fill that in, leave it on the desk, and we'll pick it up from you and get in touch in due course. That's it from me. I think we'll break for some teas and coffees, and the sandwiches will be here shortly. So disperse around, speak to these guys if you want to, grab one of the team from Moneyweb if you want to have a chat with us as well, and thank you all for coming. Thank you very much.